Hi there. Before we dive in, I want to let you in on something new. For years, Paper Napkin Wisdom has been about capturing one powerful idea on the back of the napkin. Now, we're stepping into what I call the edge of the napkin, where ideas don't just sit, they move. This is where wisdom meets action and where small sparks ignite real change. Let's get started.
Welcome to Paper Napkin Wisdom, where we share pearls of wisdom shared by some of the world's top entrepreneurs, leaders, and difference makers. Here's your host, Govindh Jayaraman.
Hi, I'm Govindh Jayaraman, and this is Paper Napkin Wisdom, episode 286. Have you ever wondered what happens at the very edge of an idea? That place where inspiration is captured in a single sentence, but real transformation only happens when you step into action. Today, that's exactly where we're going. The napkin for this episode reads, Introducing the Edge of the Napkin. For more than a decade, Paper Napkin Wisdom has been about distilling wisdom down to its simplest, most powerful form. Something you could write on the back of a napkin and carry with you for life. And now we're stepping into the edge of that napkin, where ideas don't just stay written, but where they move, stretch, and take on a life of their own. As you listen today, I want you to consider what's waiting at the edge of your own napkin. What would shift if you move beyond the insight itself and into bold, imperfect action? Let's dive into this conversation and introduce you to the edge of the napkin. Hi, I'm Govindh Jayaraman, and this is Paper Napkin Wisdom, a new series called Edge of the Napkin. And each week on Edge of the Napkin, and this is the first episode, I will bring to you some different ideas. The idea of Edge of the Napkin, and I should go into that now, is to engage in what might be some uncomfortable and vulnerable conversations. And really starting with me. As you know, Paper Napkin Wisdom has been around for many years, and every one of the episodes involves a guest. It's done in an interview style, a format that has been very comfortable for me because I can ask questions of great guests. And I've had some real privilege to share this space with amazing guests over the years. And this year, I'm going to do something different. Edge of the Napkin is going to be a solo cast. It's going to involve me for the most part. And every now and then, I will bring a guest or two on to join me in what would become, hopefully, an opportunity to learn and grow through an uncomfortable conversation, a vulnerable dialogue, an open dialogue where we will explore subjects that some people might call taboo. We will make sure that we do it in a respectful and open way. And I invite you to even suggest some of these topics for me. In fact, this podcast itself is born out of the work that I do with my coaching clients. Many of them have asked me to spend some time on a weekly basis sharing a slightly different lens. Now, my lens might not be the same lens as yours, and hopefully it isn't. Hopefully it's an opportunity for you and I together to learn and grow. And I look forward to that. I don't pretend to have many or any of the answers, but I do hope that my perspective and my willingness to tackle challenging subjects and discomfort along the way gives us all an opportunity to learn and grow. And it starts here today. This episode was really hard to get done. In fact, there were lots of reasons why I almost didn't get it done. In truth, I'm surprised that I'm even sitting here doing this with you now. This isn't my normal space, as you can tell. This isn't a normal studio, as you can tell. I am in Hamilton. So Hamilton, for those of you who don't know, is a smallish city just south of Toronto. And it's approximately 5.5 or 6 hour drive from my hometown of Ottawa, Ontario, in Canada. And we're here because this is my wife's hometown. My wife's father is nearing the end of his life. And we've been spending more time here this summer making memories for her, obviously, my wife, making memories for our children, his grandchildren. And along the way, there have been surprising and beautiful extras where we were making memories with other family members with whom we were spending more time with in what's probably an uncomfortable period in our lives than had been normally expected. And there have been plenty of wonderful memories along the way. We've had the chance to reconnect with and spend some amazing time with family members that unfortunately we'd slipped away from for one reason or another. And it's wonderful to have been able to cross those bridges and reconnect in a meaningful way. So there were a million reasons, maybe not quite a million, but many, many reasons why this episode maybe nearly didn't happen. And only one reason why it did. And it was because I'd committed to myself that I was going to do that. Now, look, I haven't always been very good at managing to move around obstacles. In fact, in the past, I probably may have said, oh boy, all these obstacles are a sign that the time isn't right. And I would have let myself off the hook from seeing it through. I don't know if that aligns with you, but sometimes when the going gets really tough in my family life or anywhere else, I might take it as a bit of a sign not to do the thing for me or for work that would otherwise be uncomfortable. This time, this occasion was different. And I'm really happy to be able to say that. And I'm also really aware of the fact that one day in the future, I'm going to look back at this first Edge of the Napkin episode and somehow be disappointed by how it turned out. I probably will criticize where I am, though this space is beautiful. I'll criticize how I set it up. I might be disappointed with where I'm sitting, how I look, how I may be presenting myself, or how prepared or unprepared I am. And I really worked at preparing myself for today. You see, for years and years, I've done the podcast with a guest and hid behind the guest in some cases because I really didn't feel like I had much to share on my own. And in the last year, I think it's been a bit of an exploration on the fact that maybe that's not true. Maybe it's been a partnership along the way that I've been too reluctant to hold up my end of the bargain. My guests have been wonderful, but have I always brought 100% of myself? I wonder about that. So, Edge of the Napkin is an opportunity to integrate the ideas that come up in Paper Napkin Wisdom on a week-to-week basis with you and talk about them maybe from a different lens. And like I said, I will bring guests in. We will have uncomfortable conversations. And I would love to hear from you about what some of those ideas could be. But today, here in Hamilton, not at home, here in Hamilton, at the 11th hour, because I was supposed to record this for days and days and days, and I didn't get it done. So here in Hamilton, coming up on deadline, I'm releasing, or recording at least, and soon to release, the first episode of Edge of the Napkin. And it's on this premise of make it bad and make it better. Because when we start something, when we make it bad, we have the opportunity to improve. We have the opportunity to iterate and change and move and shift and learn and grow. But when we sit staring at the opportunity into the abyss, we're delaying that opportunity. We're delaying the opportunity to actually give it a shot. Actually give yourself a shot. And I felt that this was worth giving a shot. So abundance starts with one, right? So when we start something, we have a chance to accumulate and attract other things that come along the way. And that's a powerful idea. It's a powerful idea because if we look at everything as a start, then we realize that the challenge wasn't put there to stop us from becoming who we really are. But the challenge was put there to teach us that we are this. We are able to do this. We are able to do it in spite of these challenges, and maybe because of these challenges. I took a course recently, and somebody suggested that one of the ways that we could change the way we look at these things is to consider that every challenge that we face could be adopted from the principle, or could be regarded from the principle that we put it there ourselves, that because maybe we did. Maybe we chose these challenges in front of us. I wonder what would shift for you if you could consider that every single challenge that is before you was something that you put there. What would that do to the way you look at the world? What would that do to the way you perceive things? So I'm here to change my perception in part and pay forward the encouragement that I've received from many of my friends, my clients, my colleagues, and other people along the way, including many members of the audience, asking for more paper napkin wisdom in different ways. And this is a different way, the edge of the napkin. So this series starts today, making it bad and making it better. Next week, I will come to you with some different ideas. And one day in the future, and I don't know what that day will be, and I don't know how long into the future that day will come, but one day into the future, I will look back at this episode, and maybe you will too. And maybe you're going to do that right now. And you're going to say that this episode was not any good at all. It was mediocre. It was underwhelming. And that's probably and possibly true, especially compared to what it will be after I do dozens of these, if not hundreds of these, just like the Paper Napkin Wisdom podcast has grown to be hundreds of episodes strong. So I hope you join me on this journey, and I hope that you also take this as an opportunity to start something for you. What's one small thing that you can do for yourself despite the challenge, or maybe because of the challenge that you're facing right now? What's one small step that you can take to become who you really are? What's one small action that you can take that you're committed to making it bad so that you can make it better, so that it's an opportunity to make it better, in spite of the challenges, in spite of the obstacles, in spite of the universal energy pushing you another way? When we adopt every challenge as if we'd chosen it ourselves, we actually change the way we look at it, because that challenge is an opportunity to learn and grow. And this has been a tremendous opportunity to learn and grow this summer as our family has come together to experience these memories. And in those same opportunities have been incredible, gracious gifts that have been given to each of our children. Our eldest and our two older children have taken turns taking care of the house and taking care of our dogs. Our youngest also has done his job doing that as well. They've all taken turns to spend extra time with family and take on extra responsibilities as a result of that, rather. And it's been a powerful gift. It's probably not one that we would have been willing to chance had it not been for some of these challenges in front of us. Everybody has made it bad and made it better. And it's gotten better and better and better. And along the way, we have had some amazing family opportunities as well to learn, love, and laugh together. It's been powerful. And I'm grateful for it. It's been a gift. And the memories that we've made this summer have been memories worth keeping. Let's put it that way. So, make it bad, make it better has been a philosophy of mine that came about many, many years ago. So many years ago, people don't always, not everybody knows this, but before Paper Napkin Wisdom, your 5-step plan to life and business success came out, there was a pre-version of that. And the pre-version of that came out. When I came out with it, I was a little embarrassed by it. I was a little embarrassed by it because it wasn't really made to the quality that I was hoping for. I'm looking back at it, there was so much to be learned from it. And I don't think that the second edition, the one that most people know, the great Jack Daly supported and created that great book, Paper Napkin Wisdom, Your 5-Step Plan to Life and Business Success, along with me. That book was a product of the first version. And it wouldn't have existed, I don't think, if it wasn't for that first version and my first commitment to making it bad and getting something done, something that could be improved. And that has been the real path to success. In everything that I've ever done, I think that my willingness to get back up after a failure or after a setback has been incredible in actually putting things together. Now, that's not always the case. Paper Napkin Wisdom went off air for a long time after some personal challenges, and I always delayed bringing it back. It took me a long time to muster the courage back in August of 2024 to actually relaunch Paper Napkin Wisdom after a long hiatus. And part of the reason for that is I had a narrative that podcasts had grown and left me by, and I didn't know what I was doing anymore, and maybe the world had changed and I hadn't, and maybe there wasn't room for Paper Napkin Wisdom. This year has told me that that's not the case. That this year has told me that, in fact, Paper Napkin Wisdom is a valued and valuable podcast, and many guests and many of you have confirmed that over the course of the year. It's been a great joy to re-experience Paper Napkin Wisdom from a different perspective. And when we change the way we look at the world we look at changes. And for me, this world has changed over the last year. It's one of possibility, and intrigue, and opportunity. And those are not necessarily the things that I saw a year ago when I relaunched Paper Napkin Wisdom. It was curious. I wasn't sure. I was doubting myself, and I was doubting what I was going to be able to achieve. So here we are a year plus later, and my willingness to make it bad has brought us to this place. My realization that if I started with one, maybe something could grow. And here we are at number 100. Part of the reason for this is that as leaders and entrepreneurs, as we grow in our organizations, we very often overestimate what we can accomplish in the short term, like a month, and underestimate what we can accomplish in the long term, like a year. I didn't think that I'd get to 100 episodes in a year. I thought I'd be lucky if I got to 50. But more than 100 episodes later, here we are. So that's exciting to share. All of it started with the first one. All of it started with one, my willingness to make it bad. And in the course of that year, there have been twists and turns and setbacks and jump forwards and launch pads and opportunities and other challenges along the way. There have been times when I wondered what I was doing. I wondered if the audience would come back. I wondered if Paper Napkin Wisdom even had a space anymore. And all of those doubts went aside with action. It's amazing how action catalyzes our will. Action catalyzes what we're going to do. So turning those thoughts into action is going to be one of the themes that we explore in the Edge of the Napkin series. We're also going to explore other uncomfortable ideas and concepts and thoughts, including relationships, including leading, including dealing with doubt, coping with failure, and other taboo subjects. So, welcome to Paper Napkin Wisdom, Edge of the Napkin. I am so looking forward to sharing this space with you. This episode was designed to be a bit of a launch to the idea and a commitment to making it bad and getting the first one done so that there is space and time and energy for the future episodes. So I'm looking forward to spending time with you every week. Until then, make it a great day. See you then. Thanks for joining me on this special episode of Paper Napkin Wisdom. Today, we introduced this new chapter, The Edge of the Napkin. And here are the key takeaways we explored together. The napkin is just the beginning, the spark, but not the fire. The edge is where the wisdom meets execution. Clarity is power. One sentence can move mountains. Communities multiply wisdom when we share and refine it. And leadership lives in iteration, making it bad, then making it better. I'm really grateful to you for being a part of this journey. Without you, our listeners, leaders, and difference makers, there would be no edge to explore. If this episode sparked something for you, subscribe, leave a review, and share Paper Napkin Wisdom with someone who's ready to move from idea to action. And here's my challenge to you. Grab a napkin, write down your next bold step, and share it with us using the hashtag Paper Napkin Wisdom. Ask yourself, what does the edge of your napkin look like? And what action will you take to bring it to life? Remember, it's not enough to think. It's not enough to intend. Transformation happens when you live at the edge of your napkin. That's where small ideas become big results. Make it a great day.